गं गणेशाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। ॐ पृथ्वी त्वया धृता लोका देवी त्वं विष्णुना धृता त्वं च धाराय मां देवीं पवित्रं कुरु चासनं। वाङ्गुरुभ्यो नमः। दक्षिणे गणेशाय नमः। ऊर्ध्वा ब्राह्मणे नमः। हस्तप्रक्षालनं समर्पयामि श्रीगोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ केशवाय नमः स्वाहा। माधवाय नमः स्वाहा। नारायणाय नमः स्वाहा। हस्तप्रक्षालनं समर्पयामि श्रीगोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ वाङ्मे आसीयस्तु नसोर् मे प्राणवस्तु अक्षुर्मे चक्षुरस्तु कर्णो मे श्रोत्रमस्तु बाहुर्मे बलमस्तु उर्वो मे ओजवस्तु ॐ अरिष्टानि मे अङ्गानि तनुस्तनवामि सह सन्तु। ॐ शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पद मम शत्रुविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते। दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दन दीपो मे हरतो पापं दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ श्रीमहालक्ष्मी च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। शुभं भवतु कल्याणं भवतु मंगलम भवतु। वरुषलक्ष्मी माता की जय। Perform Sankalp. Thank you. You'll do it, Gurji? You can do it? Okay. Om Hari Om Tat Satum Vishnu Nama Paramatmane श्री पुराण पुरुषोत्तमाय श्री परमेश्वराज्ञाय अद्य ब्रह्मणे तुते परादे श्री श्वेतवाराह कल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशते तमे कलियुगे खलु प्रथम चरणे जाम्बुद्वीपे नॉर्थ अमेरिका खंडे कनाडा देशे भ्रांतिनगरे आर्यावर्तान्तर्गतां विक्रमशके बौद्धावतारे वर्तमाने यथानां संवत्सरे विशेष नाम विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्य दिने सकल श्रुति स्मृति पौराणोक्तः फल प्राप्त कामम अमुक नाम यजमानस्य हरदत्त नामस्य सपरिवार नामस्य अमुक वर्माहम शर्माहम सपुत्रबान्य श्री गणपति भगवान पूजनम श्री कलश वरुण भगवान पूजनम श्री दुर्गा माता पूजनम षोडश उपचार पूजनम पूर्वकम नैरुचि दीर्घायु पुष्टि धन्य धान्य स्मृत्यार्थं नवग्रहामकेन यचे इति संकल्पम। Swasti Vachan. We chant words of auspiciousness to bring good energies into our puja today. Om swasti na indro vridashravaha swasti na pusha vishwavedaha swasti na starsho arishtanemi swasti no brihaspatirdadatu Om paya pritavyam payo shadisho payo divyam tarikshe payodaha payaswati pradisha santu mahyam Om Vishnoratamasi Vishno snaptreshto Vishno syorasi Vishnodra ovasi Vaishnamavasi Vishnavetava Om Agnera devata Vatu devata Suryo devata Chandrama devata Vasavo devata Rudra devata आदित्य देवता मरुतो देवता विश्वे देवा देवता बृहस्पतिर देवता इंद्रो देवता वरुणो देवता ओम द्यौः शांतिरंतरिक्षगम शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापा शांतिरौषधय शांति वनस्पतय शांतिर्विश्वदेव शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगम शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेधि सुशांतिर्भवतु ओम विश्वानि देव सवितर दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव इमा रुद्राय तव सेकपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रबरामहेमति यथा शमसद्विपरे चतुष्परे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् एतं ते देवा सवितरेज्ञं ब्राहुर्बृहस्पतये ब्रह्मणे तेन यज्ञमव तेन यज्ञापतिं तेन मामव ॐ मनो ज्योतिर्जुता माजस्सा बृहस्पतिर्यज्ञ इमं त्वरिष्ठागं यज्ञं समिमं ददातु विश्वे देवास इमादयन्ता मोघं प्रतिष्ठा एष वे प्रतिष्ठा नाम यज्ञो यत्र तेन यज्ञेन यजन्ति सर्वमेवाप्रतिष्ठितं भवतिम् ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे प्रियाणां त्वा प्रियपतिगं हवामहे निधीनां त्वा निधिपतिगं हवामहे वसो मम अहं जानि गर्भदमात्वं मजासि गर्भदम् ॐ नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्चवो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्चवो नमो नमो कृत्सेभ्यो घृत्सपतिभ्यश्चवो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्चवो नमः ॐ सुमुखश्चैकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णक लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायक धूम्रकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षो बालचन्द्रो गजानन द्वादशैतानि नामानि यापते च नियादते विद्यारम्भे विवाहेश प्रवेशे निर्गमे तथा सङ्ग्रामे सङ्कटैश्च वा विघ्नस्तस्य न जायते ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवरदं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये इति स्वस्ति वचनम् ॐ प्रेज द गणेश जी। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ॐ गं गणेशाय विद्महे वक्रतुंडाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। बोलो श्री गणपति भगवान की जय। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः आवाहनामि नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः आसनं समर्पयामि नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः पादयामि नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः हस्तयामि नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः मुख आचमनीयं समर्पयामि नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः दिव्यस्नानं समर्पयामि नमः पया पृथिव्यं पय ओषधीशो पयो दिव्यं तरिक्षे पयोदाः पयस्वती प्रदिशा सन्तु मह्यम् ॐ गं गणपतये नमः पयस्नानं समर्पयामि नमः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टवागं स्वस्ति नोभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायु स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ नमस्ते गणपते त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं कल्विनं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवधातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अवाचोत्तरातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवाचोर्ध्वातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमय त्वं ब्रह्ममय त्वं सच्चिदानन्दद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं तत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं ततस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयलयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकात् त्वं योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मा भूर्भुवस्वरों गणादिं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादिं तररन्तरम् अनुस्वारपरतर अरदेन दुरस्थितं तारेण रुद्रम् एतत् मनुष्यरूपं प्रकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारशान्तिरूपं बिन्दुरतरूपं नादः सन्दानां संहिता सन्धिः ॐ गं गणेशाय नमः ॐ विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरप्रियाय लम्बोदराय सकलाय जगत्थिताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञविभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते। बोलो श्री गणपति भगवान की जय। ॐ कलशस्या मुखे विष्णु कंते रुद्र समाश्रिता मूले तस्या स्थिते ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृगणस्मृता कुक्षौ तु सागरा सर्वे सप्तद्वीपवसुन्धरा ऋग्वेदोऽथ यजुर्वेदो सामवेदो यतर्वण अंगेष्ठा सहिता सर्वे कलशं तु समाश्रिताः ॐ मानुस्तु केतनये मानो आयुष्यो मानो घोषो मानो अश्विशुरीरिषाः मानो वीरान् रुद्रभामिनो हदिष्मन्त्वा सत्त्वामित्वा हवामहे इति मन्त्रेण कलसे गोमेस्पर्शं कुर्यात् ॐ धान्यमसि दिनुहि देवान् प्राणायत्वा धानायत्वा व्यानायत्वा दीर्घामनो प्रसिद्धिमायुषि धाम देवो वा सविता हिरण्यप्राणि प्रतिगृह्णात् छिद्रेण पाणिना चक्षुषे त्वा महिना पयोवसि इति मन्त्रेण धान्यराशि कृत्वा ॐ वर्णोऽस्योतं वर्मसि वर्णसस्कम्भसरजनिस्थो वर्णसर्तसरन्यसि वर्णसर्तसरन्मासिनिम् इति मन्त्रेण जलं वादत्यात् ॐ चन्द्रमा मनसो जातश्चक्षो सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्च अग्निश्च प्राणाद्वायुरजायत ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः ॐ शर्कराकन्दकाध्यानि दरिक्षरागितानि च आहारं भक्षभोजं च नैवेद्यं प्रतिगृहीताम् ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः नैवेद्यं ताम्बूलं समर्पयामि नमः ॐ हिरण्यगर्भा समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जाता पतिरेक आसि सदा धारपृथिवीं मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेमं करलिगर्भादिसम्भूतं कर्पूरान् च प्रदीपितम् आरातिक्यमहं कुर्वे पश्य मे वरदो भवं शुभं भवतु कल्याणं भवतु मङ्गलं भवतु। बोलो श्री वरुण भगवान की जय। Everyone, you're now all invited to come up. We'll perform Ma Durga's puja. ॐ धुं दुर्गाय नमः। ॐ धुं दुर्गाय नमः। ॐ धुं दुर्गाय नमः। जयन्ती मङ्गलाकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोऽस्तु ते। जय त्वं देवी चामुण्डे जय भूतारतिहारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। बोलो श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। ॐ दुर्गाय नमः। Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Yes. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Avahanam Samarpayami. Asanam Samarpayami Namaha. Dum Durgaya Namah. Padayo Padayami Namahagum Ramyam Sushobhanam Divyam Sarvasokyakaram Shubham Asanam Cha Maya Dattam Grihana Parameshwara. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Asanam Samarpayami Namahagum. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Padayo Padayami Namahagum. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Hastyo Hastayami Namahagum. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Mukhatmanyam Samarpayami Namahagum. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Divya Snanam Samarpayami Namahagum. Om Ushnodakam Nirmalam Cha Sarvasogandha Sanyuktam Pada Prakshalanarthaya Dattam Te Pratigrihtam. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Padayo Padayami Namahagum. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Om Paya Prativyam Paya Oshadisho Payo Divyantirikshe Payo Daha Payaswati Pradisha Santu Mahyam. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Payasnanam Samarpayami Namahagum. Om Gange Yamune Shaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jalayasmin Sanidim Kuru. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Jalasnanam Gangasnanam Samarpayami Namahagum. Om Ushnodakam Nirmalajja Sarvasogandha Sanyuktam Pada Prakshalanarthaya Dattam Te Pratigrihtam. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Om Katyayanaaya Vidmahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tanno Durge Prachodayat. Om Katyayanaaya Vidmahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tanno Durge Prachodayat. Om Katyayanaaya Vidmahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tanno Durge Prachodayat. Om Shruno Devi Pravakshami Kunjika Stotramuttamam Yena Mantra Prabhabhena Chandijapa Shubho Bhavet Na Kavacham Nargala Stotram Kilakam Na Rahasyakam Na Suktam Na Pidhyanam Cha Nanyaso Na Pata Matrena Durga Pata Palam Labet Atigohyataram Devi Devanam Apidullabam Gopaniyam Prayatena Sayo Nirva Parvati Maranam Mohanam Vasha Sambhano Chatanadikam Patamatrena Samsiddhyet Kunjika Stotramuttamam Atamantraha. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Viche. Om Glam Hum Klim Jum Saha Jwalay Jwalay Jwal Jwal Prajwal Prajwal. Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Viche Jwal Ham Samshamphat Swaha. Iti mantra. Namaste Rudra Rupinye Namaste Madhumardani Namaha Ketabaharinye Namaste Maishardini Namaste Shumbhantresha Nishumbha Surgardini Jagratam Hi Mahadevi Japam Siddhim Kurushme Enkari Shisharupai Klimkali Pratipalika Klimkali Kamarupinye Bijarupe Namostute चामुण्डा चण्डिका शीर्षा येङ्कारी वरदायिनी विच्छेषा भैरानित्य नमस्ते मन्त्ररूपिणी धाम धीं धूम धृतिपतिं वां धीं भूं वागरेश्वरी क्रां क्रीं क्रूं कालिका देवी शां शीं शूं मे शुभं गुरु हुं हुं हुंकाररूपिण्ये जं 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 जम्बनादिनी भ्रां व्रीं भ्रूं भैरवी भद्रे भवान्ये ते नमो नमः ॐ अं कं चं तं चं पं यं शं दीं दूं ऐं वीं हं शं तेजाग्रं त्रोते त्रोते गीतं कुरु कुरु स्वाहा पां पिं पुं पार्वती पूर्णं खां खीं खुं खेचरी तथा सां सिं सुं सप्तशती दिव्ये मन्त्रसिद्धिं कुरुष्व मे इदं तु कुञ्जिका स्तोत्रं मन्त्रजागर्ति हेतवे अभक्तेनैव गातव्यं गोपितं रक्ष पार्वती यस्तु कुञ्जिकया देवी हीना सप्तशती पठेत् न तस्यै जायते सिद्धिर्रण्यरोदनं यथा इति श्रीरुद्रयामले गौरीतन्त्रे शिवपार्वती संवादे कुञ्जिकास्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम् सोममराति यतो निर्हाति वेदः सनः परिष्टि दुर्गानि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निर्वर्णा तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेशविष्ठां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सूतरसीतरसे नमः त्वां पार्णव्यो अस्माकस्त्वद्भिदति दुर्गानि विश्वा पूष्यपृथिवी बहुरान उर्वी भवादोकानि तनयानि शम्योः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुन्ननावा दुरिताति परिषि अग्नि अत्रिवन्मनसाग्रनानो अस्माकं भोधिमिता तनूनां पृतनाजिसगं सहमानभुक्तम् अग्निं भुविं परमास्वदस्तात् सन्नः परषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वं श्यामद्देवो अधिदुरितातिवर्षि शीतविद्यो अध्वरेषु सनाचा होता नव्यश्चदस्ति तां चाग्रे तनुवं प्रयस्व सुभगमायुजुस्वात् गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निशिन्तन्निवेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमभीतं वसानो वैष्णवीलोकनिहमानयन्ताम् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्य चां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमणप्रकामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं कामश्वं पुरुषाणाम् अश्वपूर्वार्तमध्यां हस्तेनारप्रमोदिनीं यं देवीं वक्त्रे विश्वेमा देवी जुषितां तां समस्थितां हिरण्यप्राकारामाद्राजलन्तीं चतुर्भ्यां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मेस्तां पद्मवर्णां तां योपक्लेश्रियं चन्द्रां प्रभासादिशसा ज्वलन्तीं श्रियं लोके देवविष्टामुदारां तां पद्मिनीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये अलक्ष्मीर्नेन शकां त्वां गृहे आदित्यवर्णो तपसोऽधिजातो वनस्पतिपतित्ववृक्षोत्सबिल्वः तस्य फलानि तपसानुरन्तु मायान्तरायाश्च बाह्या अलक्ष्मीः वैतमां देवसखः कीर्तिश्चामुनिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रियसङ्केतं दधातु मे श्रुतपासानां तेषामलक्ष्मीनाशनाम्यहम् अभूतिम् अस्मृतं च सर्वान् हृदमे विहात् गन्धद्वारा दुरादर्शा नित्यपुष्टाकरीशनीः ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपक्वये श्रियं मनसः कामापूर्तिं मासत्सत्यमशीमहे पशूनां रूपमन्त्रस्य मयि श्रीकयतांशः कर्दमेन प्रजाभूता मयि सम्भवकर्दमा श्रियं वासय मे कुले मातरं पद्ममालिनी आपः सृजन्ति
यः कर्णीं यष्टिं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं सूर्यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तामावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं प्रभूतं गावो दासो स्वान्निन्देयं पुरुषाणः यशुचिः प्रतो भूत्वा धियाराजमन्वा उक्तं पञ्चदर्शनं श्रीकामा सततं जपेत् छन्दसाम वृषभो विश्वरूपः चन्द्रोभ्यो धर्मिता सम्बभूवः समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवाधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमां कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविक्षुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पीतः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ मेधां देवी शमानां न आगादिष्वाति भद्रां सुमनस्यमाना त्वया जुष्टानुदमानां दुरुक्तां बृहत्तदेवतति सवीराः त्वया जुष्टा ऋषिर्भवति देवी त्वया ब्रह्मा कतक्षीरतत्त्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो दुषश्च द्रविणो न मेधे मेधाम इन्द्रो दधातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधामे अश्विना भुवा वादतां पुष्करस्रजाम् अप्सरासु च या मेधा गन्धर्वेषु शयन्मनः देवी मेधा सरस्वती सामा आसुरभिर्जिषिता स्वाहा आमा मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपं हिरण्यवर्णा मयि मेधा मयि प्रजा मयि इन्द्रियं ददातु मयि मेधा मयि प्रजा मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो ददातु ॐ महादेवे च विद्महे ब्रह्मपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो वाणी प्रचोदयात् ॐ हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ओम्
जयकारा शेरावाली का, बोल साचे दरबार की जय। दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, हाँ दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है, ओ दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, हाँ दुर्गा है मेरी माँ। बोलो जय माता दी, बोलो जय माता दी, जो घर पे आई वो खाली ना जाई, सबके काम कर की, सबको दुखियन भर की, हो मैया शेरा वाली, ओ भर की झोली खाली, ओ मैया शेरा वाली, ओ भर की झोली खाली। है दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ,
दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ।
ओ हो दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ।
दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ।
पूर करे अरमान जो सारे,
पूर करे अरमान जो सारे,
ओ पूर करे अरमान जो सारे,
पूर करे अरमान जो सारे,
ओ देती है वरदान जो सारे, देती है
वरदान जो सारे,
ओ देती है वरदान जो सारे, देती है
वरदान जो सारे।
देती है वरदान जो सारे। दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, दुर्गा है
मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ।
सारे जग को खेल खिलाए,
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 बिछड़ों को जो खूब मिलाए, बिछड़ों को जो बिछड़ों को जो खूब मिलाए, खूब मेरी लाले, बिछड़ों को जो खूब मिलाए, बिछड़ों को जो खूब मिलाए, बिछड़ों को जो खूब मिलाए। दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, दुर्गा है मेरी माँ,
अम्बे है मेरी माँ।
बोलो जय माता दी,
जय हो,
बोलो जय माता दी,
जय हो,
जो भी दर पे आई
जय हो,
वो खाली ना जाई,
जय हो,
सबके काम है कर की,
जय हो,
सबके दुखियन भर की,
जय हो,
ओ मैया शेरा वाली,
जय हो,
ओ भर की झोली खाली,
जय हो,
ओ मैया शेरा वाली,
जय हो,
ओ भर की झोली खाली। दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, हाँ दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, दुर्गा है मेरी माँ, अम्बे है मेरी माँ, हाँ दुर्गा मेरी माँ, शेरा वाली है, जोता वाली है, पहाड़ा वाली है।
बोलो श्री दुर्गा माता की जय. We'll now have the Durga Chalisa done by Bhaiji Gabriel.
श्री सरस्वती नमः। श्री गुरुदेवे नमः। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते देवी नारायणी नमस्तुते। जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे। नमो नमो दुर्गे सुखकरणी नमो नमो अम्बे दुःखहरणी। निरंकार है जो ति तुम्हारी तिहु लोक
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
क्षीर सिंधु में करत विलासा दया सिंधु दीजे मन आशा हिंगलाज में तुम्ही भवानी महिमा अमित न जाए बखानी
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
मातंगी धूमावती माता भुवनेश्वरी बगला सुखदाता श्री भैरवतारा जगतारिणी छिन्न बाल भव लोक निहारिणी
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
के हरिवाहन सोहे भवानी लंगूर वीर चलक अगवानी कर में कपर कर गविराज जाकु देख काल डर बाज
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
सोहे कर आस त्रिशूला जातु शत्रु की शूला नगर कोटि में तुम्ही भवानी तीनों लोक में डंका बाजत
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
शुंभ निशुंभ दानव तुम मारे रक्त बीज संकन संहारे महिषासुर नृपु अति अभिमानी जही अखबार मही अकुलानी
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
रूप कराल कालिको दारा सेन सहित तुम ही संहारा परिगार संतन पर जब जब मई सहाय माता तुम तब तब
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
अमरपुरी अरबा सब लोका तब महिमा सब रहे अशोका बाला में है ज्योति तुम्हारी तुम्हें सदा पूजे नर नारी
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
प्रेम भक्ति से जो नर गावे जो कदरेद्र निकट नहीं आवे जाए तुम्हें जो नर मन लाई जन्म मरण का सो छुट जाए
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
जोगी सुर मुनि कहत पुकारे जोग न हो बिन शक्ति तुम्हारे शंकर आश्चर्य तप कीन कामरु क्रोध जीत सब लीन
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे माँ जय अम्बे
प्रतिपकानि जय 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 जगदम्ब भवानी भई प्रसन्न आदि जगदम्बा दई शक्ति नहीं की न विलम्बा
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
मूक मात कष्ट अति गेरो तुम बिन कौन हरे दुख मेरो आशा तृष्णा निपत सतावे रिपु मूरत मोहि अति जय पावे
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
शत्रुनाश की जय महारानी सुमिरो एक चित तुम्हें भवानी करो कृपा है मातु दयाला रीति सीति के करहु निहाला
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
जब लग जियो दया पल पावे तुमरो यश में सदा सुनाओ दुर्गा चालीसा जो कोई गावे सब सुख भोग परम पद पावे
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
देवी व्यास शरण निज गावे करहु कृपा जगदम्ब भवानी जय अम्बे
जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे मां जय अम्बे जगदम्बे
बोलो श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। रूप सरस्वती को तुम धारा दे सुबुद्धि ऋषि मुनि न उबारा। Bhaiji sang the Durga Chalisa. What does it mean? What do these verses mean to us? Rupa Saraswati, O Ma Durga, you appear in the form of Goddess Saraswati as well, to grant wisdom and knowledge to the sages and thus ensure their welfare. Dharya Rupa Narasimha Ko Amba Pragat Bhai Phar Kar Khamba. O Mother Amba, it was you who appeared in the form of Narasimha, breaking through the pillar. Of course, it was the fierceness, the power, the Shakti of Ma Durga that allowed Narasimha Bhagwan to do what he did, to break through a pillar and of course rescue his devotees. Jai Sitaram everyone, let us now join together in a short chanting. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Jai Tvam Devi Chamunde Jai Bhutarati Harini Jai Sarvagate Devi Kalaratri Namostute. रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे 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 मधुकेत दरिद्राभि विधात्री वरदे नमः
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
महिषासुर निर्नाशी भक्तानां सुखदे नमः
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
रक्तबीज विदे देवी छन्दमुन्द विनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे मा रूपं देहि
जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
शुम्भस्वे निशुम्भस्य धूम्राक्ष च मर्दिनी
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
वन्दिताङ्ग्रयुगे देवी सर्वसौभाग्यदायिनी
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
अचिन्त्यरूपचरिते सर्वशत्रुविनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे मा रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे नतेभ्यः सर्वदा भक्त्या चण्डिके दुर्तापे
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
स्तुवद्भ्यो भक्तिपूर्वां त्वां चण्डिके व्याधिनाशिनी
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
चण्डिके सततं ये त्वमर्चन्ति हि भक्तिता रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
देहि सौभाग्यमारोग्यं देहि मे परमं सुखं
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
विदेहि द्विषतं नाशं विदेहि बलमुच्यके
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
विदेहि देवि कल्याणं विदेहि परमां श्रियं रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
सुरासुरशिरोरत्न निग्रश्चरणोऽम्बिके
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
विद्यावन्तं यशस्वन्तं लक्ष्मीवन्तं जनं कुरु
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
प्रसन्नदैत्यदर्पग्ने चण्डिके प्रणताय मे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे मा रूपं देहि
जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
चतुर्भुजे चतुर्वक्त्र संस्तुते परमेश्वरी
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
कृष्णने संस्तुते देवी सर्वशक्तस्राम्बिके
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
हिमाचल सुरनाथ संस्तुते परमेश्वरी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे रूपं देहि
जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे इन्द्रियाणि पतित सद्भाव पूजिते परमेश्वरी रूपं देहि
जयं देहि यशो देहि दिशो जे
देवी प्रचण्ड दौरदण्ड दैत्यदर्प विनाशिनी
रूपं देहि जयं देहि
भक्तजनोदाम दत्तानन्दोऽम्बिके रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि रूपं देहि
जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि
पत्नी मनोरमां देहि मनोवृत्तानुसारिणीं तारिणीं दुर्गसंसार सागरस्य कुलोद्भव इरं स्तोत्रं पठित्वा तु महास्तोत्रं पठे नर सा तु सप्तशती संख्या वरमोऽग्नि सदा प्रदा रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि रूपं देहि
जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि
रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि मा रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि यशो देहि दशो देहि बोलो श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। Once there was a woman who very particularly loved roses, the flower. And she loved these roses so much that she began growing a bunch of them in her backyard. Just roses, no other flowers. And she had a whole field in her backyard where she grew all these roses. She was so fond of these roses that at one point, her husband and her child could not go near them. She taped off the roses, making sure that no one would go near the roses. She scolded them preemptively. She told them, listen, do not go near these precious roses of mine because they make me so happy. The bliss that she got from seeing these roses in their bloom was nothing like she had seen before. And so she took care of them. She allowed them to grow. She nurtured them. And she made sure that no one else disrupted these flowers of hers. One day, of course, her son was playing, and he kicked the ball right into the field, and he destroyed one or two of the roses. And she became very, very angry. She became upset at the little boy, and she punishes him. She grounds him after yelling at him. And seeing all of this happen now, there was a sadhu that was walking by. And the sadhu was understanding what was happening with the lady. He understood everything that had happened, that she took care of the flowers and that the sun had destroyed it. And so he made a plan in his mind. And he said to himself that he's going to come back in the nighttime. So he comes back in the night. The sadhu goes behind her house, and he takes the scissors and he begins cutting all of the flowers. He begins cutting them by the stem and destroying the flowers one by one. The lady who was sleeping, she woke up after hearing the sounds of someone in her backyard, and she goes out to see who it is. And she begins to yell at the sadhu to stop. What does the sadhu say to her? He says, even beautiful flowers can turn into weeds. He says, even beautiful roses and flowers can turn into weeds. And he continues cutting them. And he says, these flowers have turned into weeds in your mind. The sadhu tells us that even though the flowers had made her happy, truly the lady was not very happy at all. She became upset at the slightest of things. She cared for and worried about the flowers so much. Even though the flowers gave her happiness, it also gave her a little bit of worries. She was not truly happy. So the question is posed now. What is true happiness? Where can we find it in this world?
And first and foremost, does it exist even? We live our lives every single day. Think about all the things that we need to do. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of the house that we live in. We need to clean up. We need to cook. We need to clean. We have all of these responsibilities as we try to afford a very simple life of ours. We also have to take care of those around us as well. We try to take care and make sure everyone is in good health. Make sure everyone else around us is happy. So this is what we hear all the time, that we have to do so many things. Where can we find the time to look for this happiness? Many of us say we don't have the time to pursue the things that we want in life, that we believe will make us happy. Many of us say we don't have the time to come to the mandir to pray. Many of us will say that we don't have the time to do what it takes according to Bhagavan as he lays out in our scriptures to chase after this happiness. And we say to ourselves, where is the time to find happiness? Where do we begin to look? As you all know, happiness is not something that we can find physically. It is not an object that if we search the world, we are able to find. It is not something that we can pick up in our hands. It is not something that we can break apart like the roses. So where do we begin looking for something that we cannot see with our eyes? Bhagavan Shri Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. Let's see what he says. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Yajnana tapah karma natyajam karyameva tat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishanam. Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. 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 Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. This is chapter 18, verse 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna says, Yagyadana tapah karma natyajam karyameva tat yagyodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishanam. He says, actions based on performance of sacrifice, charity, and austerity should never be renounced. we shouldn't stop this. They certainly must be enacted. We must do them. Because performance of sacrifice, charity, and austerities are purifying for those that are wise. These three qualities, he says, are purifying for those of a wise nature. Those who are in wisdom, who act in wisdom alone. We looked at last week the different paths that we can take in this life. And regardless of what path you take, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that there are certain things that you must try to accomplish in life. There are certain things that we have to strive for. There are certain things that we must do if we want to remain in wisdom, if you want to remain in good-naturedness. What are they, of course? Yajna, Dana, and Tapa. This verse has been explained many times. So instead of explaining it for what these three mean in a religious sense, these three qualities, let's look at what it means in a personal sense to us. How can we perform these three without doing havan and all of that? How can we perform these three qualities on a spiritual sense instead of a religious sense? Yajna, of course, means sacrifice. The way that we can apply it is by working hard now. There are many people who have this mindset that they work extra hard now. They take 2 jobs, or they focus on their career because they're looking to sacrifice their time now in order to have something better in the future, whatever that goal may be. That is a form of yajna. There are people who sacrifice their time, we call them caregivers, to take care of another person, someone who's elderly, someone who's sick. This is one of the toughest jobs that we can have on the planet. Those are the people that are sacrificing their time, their effort, in order to make someone else healthy. That is yajna. Dan. Dan means charity. This is giving money or giving your time to something of a worthy cause. So not just helping a single person, not just sacrificing for one thing, but for many things that encompass what's called a cause, a goal that's yet to be accomplished. So charity is, in essence, helping your friends and your family around you. You're trying to uplift the society around you, the people around you, whatever that means. If it means financially, if it means being a listening ear, if it means being there for someone whenever they need you, that is dan. You're giving towards society in a meaningful way. And of course, the third is tapa. Tapa means penance. It means performing penance. But for us, spiritually now, what does this mean? It means working on yourself. Now, this doesn't mean working on your career. It doesn't mean working to help others that are going to help you. It means working on yourself. Making sure that you're trying to be a better person every single day. Making sure that you're trying to learn as much as you can every single day. Making sure that you're being kind to others around you and striving to be even more kind. Improving all these good qualities that we hear of. All of these good things, attributes, commandments that we hear of in our religion. It means working on all of these things constantly. And as Guruji says, my Guruji Pandit Hardat, he says, there are 2 things that burn us in this life. He says, chitta and chinta. We know this, right? Chitta is the pyre. When we're leaving this earth, they have to make a cremation pyre. That is one thing that can burn us, the fire, the physical fire. The second that can burn us is chinta, worries. It burns us from the inside. It destroys us from the inside if we continuously worry about things. but I'd like to add a third today. The third is called Tapa. And this one is a good one. Tapa, as a penance and working on yourself, becomes something that can burn us. You're burning out all of these bad qualities within yourself, and you're leaving the good. And just like fire, when we have fire, what happens? We have the fire that burns the material, whether it's wood or whatever it may be. And at the end, the result of that is bhasma. The result is ashes. And that ash is very pure. It has been brought down to a stage where it is very, very pure without anything else in it. Which is why for many Hindus, they rub it on their skin to keep cool and to be merged with nature again, to feel that connectedness. In the same way, tapa burns us. When we try to get rid of all that negative qualities within us through our certain practices, then we're left after burning down with the good, the ashes, the pure white bhasma, the pure white ashes, that is the remainder. So, these are the three, chitta, chinta, and tapa, that can burn us in life. Two of them are not so good, and one of them, of course, is good for us in the end. These three things that we must do, yajna, dana, and tapa, we must do all of them on a daily basis. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, he says, na tyajam karyameva tat. Na means no. He says, yajna, dana, tapa, karma. Karma means to do. Na tyajam, do not give this up. Because pavanani manishanam. Because these are things that will purify us in life. So once we become happy, once we've burnt down to that stage of tapa, that is the only thing that can allow us to find that happiness. Yajna and dana are good, but only the tapa, concentrating on that, can allow us to enter a state where we find that true happiness. Only when we have gone down to the level where there's purity can we understand what will make us truly happy. And once we become truly happy, then how can we make sure that we attain liberation? Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, to dukh kahe ko hoy. This beautiful poetic verse says, of course, in anguish, everyone prays to Bhagavan. But in joy, no one ever does. In happiness, no one does. To those who pray in happiness, when you're happy, truly happy, how can sorrow ever come into your life again? You see, true happiness allows us to think clearly. If we were not bound by the worries that we have in life, then of course everyone would spend their time doing many, many things rather than sitting down and worrying. If we didn't have worries, then we wouldn't worry. If we didn't have worries, we wouldn't spend our time in a wrong place. We would spend our time doing what makes us happy. And so we must find this true happiness somewhere else. What does Bhagavan Shri Krishna say about where now to find this true happiness? If we perform this tapa, where does it leave us? Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai 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 Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Yodas Kontara Ramas तथाथर ज्योतिरेवय स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय
राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय
राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय
गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, this is chapter 5 verse 24. He says, one who finds happiness in the self, who revels in the self, who knows the self, they can attain liberation through identification with the Supreme Presence. What does this mean? It means just like that tapa, when we perform that tapa, happiness is not found anywhere else but within us. And when we're left with that purity, when we understand who we are, when we know what we want to do, when we understand what we've come here to do, our dharma, our swadharma, and we're ready to pursue that now, that is when we begin that path to happiness. That is when we can understand that this path is meant for us, and we continue walking along that path towards Bhagavan. This type of happiness, it is permanent. It is not temporary. We always say that temporary happiness is like pouring a glass of Sprite. When you pour it from the can into the glass, what happens? The glass quickly fills up. But after you wait some time, you might look at it and you say you're happy that it's filled, but you wait and all the bubbles start to go down. And then you look and you're left with this much. And then you're not so happy again. You have to go and pour a little more. This process is temporary happiness. This process is not everlasting like true happiness. And so we're left wanting more as we continue filling our cup. How many times have we become happy at good news and sad at bad news? It is the news that is making us happy and sad? Or is it ourselves and how we're reacting to it? How many times have we questioned why all of these bad things are happening to us godly people, people on a spiritual path? How many times do we question that to ourselves? How many times have we tried a food that someone else recommends, but then we think it's not so good? How many times have we had a recommendation from someone else, but when we go and experience that for ourselves, it is not what they said? It is not the same thought that we have about it. The happiness is not in any of those things, it is in ourselves. These are teachings that we know for many, many years now, reading from the Bhagavad Gita. So the glimpse of the true self, you have a glimpse of your true self, is only when we perform these qualities, tapa, and when we revel in ourselves, when we look within to find what we truly want in life. I'll close with this one analogy, that our happiness is like a light bulb. And when we're born, this light bulb is shining very, very bright. As a baby, we're giggling, we're laughing. All we need is to be fed and to be changed and to keep warm. But our natural state is to be happy. What happens now as we grow older and we grow older, there are things that dampen that light. There are things that darken that light. And we call these worries. And these worries are like little sheets, little dark sheets that we're throwing over our light bulb. Every time we have a worry, we add on to it. And eventually you cannot see that light shining through anymore. You cannot see that light coming through. That happiness is not coming through. We're not able to feel the same way as we did as we were a kid. And sometimes we reminisce and say, we wish times were like how it was back then. The times has not changed anything. It is the worries that has changed it for us. But once we can take off the worries, once we find out more about ourselves, once we burn away all of that cloth through tapa, we burn away all of that worry and negative qualities, then we're left again with that light bulb, that happiness, that peace that we once had. I'm hoping all of you can perform tapa some way or another, and of course the other two, Yagyandan as well, and that you take this message with you to find happiness, and hope all of you remain happy at all times. Thank you for joining with us again, everyone. We have one dedication and a couple announcements before we close. The dedication is wishing Vashti, Hanumanji and Ma Durga's blessings on her birthday, which was on May 31st. Love, Puran, Haley, and Tyler. This is a family that everyone I think should know very, very well. They're very, very close to us. But alternatively, if you do not know them, that is because they are very soft-spoken. That is because they're very, very quiet. But they do so much work in this temple. And the Ramatar family is very, very involved in making this temple what it is today. Auntie Vashti, I'm wishing you all the best on your birthday, belated birthday now. Of course, I hope you had a great day. And of course, wishing you Ma Durga's blessings. I'd like to say that the Ramatar family as well has left its imprint on this temple. There are many people who do this as well, but I can say it for them because it's Auntie Vashti's birthday. And so much so that when I'm playing this jal here, I'm seeing the name Ramatar inside. You won't be able to see it on the camera. For you others, you can come up and see. And that is because Tyler left his jal here, so if you want to come pick it up after Tyler, you can do so. Auntie Vashti, wishing you a very, very happy birthday. Let us sing a beautiful bhajan now dedicated to you. Please join with me, everyone. Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namah. Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namah. Jai
Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namah.
तेरा पावन सिमरन करके अंतर में सुख भर आता.
तेरा पावन सुमिरन करके अंतर में सुख भर आता.
रोम रोम में प्रेम तिहारा मन के भक्ति भी कर जाता. जय कल्याणी, जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे, नमो नमः. जय
नारायणी, जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे, नमो नमः.
मन अंतर में मंत्र बनो तुम, जीवन के गुंजारो ना. मन अंतर में मंत्र बनो तुम,
जीवन के गुंजारो ना.
जन्म जन्म के संतापों को तेज से अपने जला दो ना. जय रुद्राणी,
जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः।
बोलो श्री दुर्गा माता की जय. Thank you everyone again. We have 2 announcements today. The first is that we will have a BSM annual walkathon. This is something that we haven't done due to COVID for maybe a couple years now, but we're kicking it off again, and it's a good, I guess, involvement activity for everyone to be involved in. This will be taking place June 18th, and it'll be at 8 a.m., so that's bright and early. Please, you have to let us know that you're coming and sign up, and you can do so on our website. Please go to bhavanishankarmandir.com/walk. That's WALK walk. The second is that we have a 12-hour Mahamrityunjay Havan. This is something we always do again, happening on June 26th. This will take place from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. 12 hours of constant chanting and Havan. Again, you have to let us know that you're coming, sign up, and please provide some type of sponsorship to help us out with the event. Please go to our website. It's at bhavanishankarmandir.com/Havan. So that's HAVAN, Havan for this one. Thank you again, everyone. Please let's now stand for Aarti. Om Yani Kani Cha Papani Janamantare Kritani Cha Tani Sarvani Nashyantu Prarakshina Pare Pare.
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत मैया जी को निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी ओम जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मांग सिंदूर विराजत को मृग मद को हयाती को मृग मद को उज्ज्वल से दो नैना उज्ज्वल से दो नैना चंद्र बदननी को ओम जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी समान करे वर राकांबर राजे मैया राकांबर राजे रक्त पुष्प गलमाला रक्त पुष्प गलमाला गंधहार साजे ओम जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती मैया नासाग्रे मोती कौतिक चंद्र दिवाकर कौतिक चंद्र दिवाकर राजत सब ज्योति ओम जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तु ते त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव. We all bow. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritam gamaya. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Harihi Om. बोलिए महापति महादेव की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सिया भज रामचंद्र की, श्री दुर्गा माता की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की. सबको जय जय सीताराम. Jai Sitaram. Everyone, Aarti will come to you. Thank you.